one surprise this year, and I know obviously this is a big product of having Tyreek on the team. Cedric signed 11 days before Tyreek was acquired. I guess just lack of touches for Cedric and the fact that Trent played a ton more snaps than Cedric last Sunday. What has accounted for Trent seemingly, at least last week, surpassing Cedric on the depth chart?
Well, I think each and every week, our room is the wide receiver room is highly competitive. I think we have a lot of really good players in that room, and it's like I tell the guys all the week, every week of whoever's doing the best in practice on the assignments on top of everything, like that's who we're going to play at the time, I think Sed has made a lot of strides in his past weeks, and I see him getting a lot more playing time and getting some touches going forward, but it's always a process, especially anybody new coming into the system and learning the system and all those different things. So, but we kind of take it a week by week, and I think all the guys in my room understand the way the way our coaching staff kind of operates. Whoever's gives us the best chance to win, that's who's going to be out there on the field, and that could be said going forward. It could be Trent, it could be River, it could be anybody. It's just a matter of how it goes through the week and what gives us the best chance to win the game.
Wes, did you talk to Jalen Waddle after his game last week, or do you kind of back off and worry that there might be too many voices in his ear? How do you handle that?
Yeah, I mean, I think any time for young players, there's your whole life, you pretty much have all these awesome games, and and it's no different than anybody. You're going to have a bad day at the office, and when his best day, and he understands that, and the way we kind of talk about it is what can we learn from it, and how can we get better from it, and what can we do preparation wise or practice wise or whatever it is, to correct those things and make sure we don't have that feeling again. So, Jalen's a tough kid and battles and, playing hurt, playing all those different things. So there's a lot that, a lot of these young guys kind of deal with. And, over time you have success and you have failures and everything else. And it's all about how you bounce back from them. And, I see Jalen's a tough-minded dude who's going to bounce back from it, and he's going to be a big part of our offense, going forward, and a big reason why we're going to be able to have success this season.
Tyreek is on a record pace early. How much more impressive is it because he's had to do it with different quarterbacks starting to him?
Yeah, I think the way we coach our quarterbacks and the timing and all those different things, I don't think it really changes too much for us. Tyreek does a great job just being a pro, coming in, week out, and bringing that energy and doing what he needs to do to prepare for the week. And I think we're seeing that preparation and everything that he's doing through the week coming to fruition on Sunday. So, he's done a hell of a job with all that, and we put a lot on his plate and try to give him the ball as much as possible. And I mean, he's exceeded our expectations and what he brings to our team, the energy and the playmaking ability and all those different things. I mean, I can't say enough good things.
On that fourth down conversion, looked like he beat a bracket to move the chains for you guys. Just how valuable is that as an offense to have a guy that can beat double coverage and make a big catch like that?
Yeah, no, it's huge. I think there, especially in the second half. I mean, you could just kind of see Tyreek wanting to take the game over, and it wasn't even really about plays at that point. It was more about how do we get Tyreek the ball, and when he's in one of those zones like that. We just got to continue to feed him and let him do his thing.
Going off of both questions about Tyreek, what kind of player is he off of the field? Is he somebody who likes to be challenged? Is he somebody who you can kind of like point in the right direction and let him go? Or what is it like coaching Tyreek Hill?
It's fun, I think at first we were both kind of feeling each other out with all that stuff, and I think as kind of time went on, I realized like how competitive he is, and he loves everything being a competition, and he has fun with that. So, whether we're in the meeting room, making up games about football and, all right, what's this coverage, doing point systems, all that, like, he loves all that stuff. So, he loves talking trash. So, I think all of us in there just talking trash. If somebody gets locked up in one-on-ones, he starts playing the song, got locked up, they won't let me out. So, anyways, we have some fun with some of that stuff, but just ultra competitive. But he loves making anything a competition.
So like everything is a game. Not a game, but like everything can be turned into a competition. Who sits down first? Who recognizes the coverage?
It's all one
first?
big game. It is. I mean, you're not wrong with that, but it's competing, and he loves it, and I'm all about it.
I noticed you get active and after it in practice, running sprints sometimes. Where does that motivation come from, and what do you think that does for your unit?
No, that's just for me. Trying to not get too old. Trying to stretch out, move around a little bit. So, if anything, that's more for myself, and just trying to get my energy going, and trying to not to look like a guy. Oh, he used to play. Not he used to play.
Wes, we've seen over the past couple weeks, you've seen teams play way more zone against you guys, and obviously that's probably to not limit the over the top plays. What's your point of emphasis for the wide receivers as they're seeing more zone coverages?
Whenever we come into zone coverages and stuff, it's more about understanding coverages, understanding the holes, and then understanding how important getting our depths are, and the timing with the quarterback with all those plays. So, I think that's a big part of what we do, as far as against those zones and different things like that, and being able to run the football, making sure we're on our blocks, on our responsibilities as far as that goes, and then from there, trying to get those guys to creep up and hopefully be able to take a shot, whether it's intermediate or down the field.
Wide receiver, did you prefer? I mean, it seemed like I watched you. It seemed like you always found the soft spots in the zone. Did you prefer playing zone as opposed to?
Absolutely, didn't have to work as hard. It's like, man, the defenses have changed, man. It used to be a guy in front of your face all the time. Now it's just soft zones and stuff. So I loved zones.
You gave a very.
Tyreek was talking yesterday, and I wasn't there. It was Barry and Hal to give them credit.
Or blame.
I'm that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Tyreek was explaining to them that you've helped him with his hand placement, and that you've helped him maximize yards after catch. Can you explain the coaching point and how hand placement can relate to yards after catch?
Yeah, and it's not so much just the hand placement or anything. It's more about, and it was something that Mike had emphasized for a long time, and I was kind of like, what? And then you start to watch the tape and all those different things, but whenever you're catching the ball, a lot of receivers want to jump to catch it, and really a lot of times that's when their drops happen. So the guys that have aggressive hands, aggressive feet, and running through the ball without having to jump, not only are you not slowing down so the defender can catch up to you, but now you're able to run through the ball seamlessly without breaking a stride, and now you just run away from defenders as opposed to jumping and letting them catch up once you get that separation. Catching the ball and drop stepping in zones. So having your feet ready in those situations to be able to get up the field against zone coverage. You see so many guys sit there square to the ball and then try to run the hoop around the zoning defender, and they're just too fast. They're too well coached to where if you have your feet ready and aggressive hands, aggressive feet, ready to drop step and get up the field.
Thanks.
Wes, you gave a very thoughtful answer last month about with Eric. Obviously, coaches and players needing to trust him, know where he'll be, and the same could be said for any rookie receiver. Where is he in that process? Has he earned the trust, but it's just a case of you have reliable veterans ahead of him, or is
Yeah.
it still early in that process?
Yeah, I mean, I I think I'd be okay with Eric being out there if he had to play one position right now, you know. And I think we could definitely have him ready for that. But where we're at right now with the depth and the guys that we have in the room, you know, the opportunity just hadn't presented itself for Eric. So, you know, for him, it's continuing to learn that system and be on top of all the assignments and still trying to learn every single position. And when that opportunity does come, you know, he'll be ready for it.